Hey everybody, this is Shanti coming to you with another video here on my channel with Transparency with Shanti. Today I want to talk about relationships when it comes to getting with someone just to get with someone. Okay, so we get with people all the time because they're cute, they're handsome, they're fine, they're status quo, they have money and things like that. But what I challenge you guys to do today is think about the relationships that you have in your life right now. Think about your friendships, your family ships, your romantic relationships. Think about all of that. Is it benefiting your life in such a way that is designed for your purpose? Is it benefiting your life in such a way that it's elevating you? Is it benefiting your life that is bringing you up, that is making you have positive decisions and positive choices in life? Are you able to encourage them just as well as they encourage you? Or do you feel the opposite? Oftentimes we get into relationships because we like the person, we like what we see, and we go off that. But in reality, they might not even be a soulmate of ours. In fact, they may be someone that's a catalyst to help us get into our healing process, which means that these people have to hurt us. When you are hurt and when you are going through hell and when you don't know or don't see your way out, when you are depressed, that's when you find out who your friends are and who is really here for you. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but when you have money, when things are looking up, when things are good, when business is booming, you have a lot of friends around you, a lot of family, your wife or your husband or your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, they're all for you then. But what happens when things get rough? What happens when things get to the point where you guys don't know which way is up? Do you have a partner or do you have a friend that's going to stick with you to the very end, or do you have somebody that's going to give up on you in the fight? Do you have somebody that's going to grab you when you fall and pick you up and carry you on their back? Or do you have someone that's going to see you falling and push you farther down just so they can be able to climb over you so that they don't fall? We have to be mindful of the people that we connect ourselves with. And in all honesty, the most damaging relationship that you can have that is not supporting you, not encouraging you, not uplifting you is a romantic one. Because those are the relationships that we give most, if not all, our energy to. And we leave the little scraps of energy that we have left for our family and friends. So if you have someone who is toxic, that only wants to take from you, and you just give, eventually you will run on empty. Because that person is not pouring back into you. So when we say we want a relationship and when we say we want to make a husband, a spouse, a wife, whatever the case may be, a significant other, we have to be mindful of what that means. That means that you are going to be pouring into this person. That person is going to be pouring into you. You're going to be uplifting this person. That person is going to be uplifting you. You're going to be supporting this person. That person is going to support you. It has to be a sense of reciprocity, an equal give and take. If not, it will not work. Somebody will feel drained. Somebody will feel overwhelmed, and eventually it just won't work. Fighting, bickering, arguing will take place because there is not a quick alignment that has to take place in order to get this to be a long-term commitment. There's nothing quick about it. But if you can actually sit with yourself, find out what your inner childhood wounds are, what you need to work on, what you need to heal, and raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration and you begin to heal and you begin to let things go and release traumas and release things that have happened to you, you will begin to glow. And that glow will attract the person that is actually supposed to be in your life, that actually compliments you. We can be with anybody. We can make anything work as long as there is compatibility there. But the truth of the matter is this your partner in purpose? Because your partner in purpose is going to differ from anybody that you've ever met in your life. The connection you're going to feel is going to be different than anything in your life. In fact, it might just scare you. You might just run away from it thinking that it's too good to be true. But in fact, what God gives is actually too good to be true to us, but it's good to be true for Him. He knows exactly what we need. He knows the person that we need. He knows what they have on the inside of them that we can use to be able to grow us and mature us in Him. When you are with someone that is immature, you too become immature because you try to match their level of immaturity. Tit for tat is what they call it. At first you'll start off like, no, I'm better than that. No, I'm better than that. But then you will see that this person is really trying to bring you down. And our egos and our natural nature will be like, you ain't about to do that to me. Watch this. I got something better for you. And now we're going back and forth in a romantic relationship to try to prove a point to the other person, which that's not even a relationship. That's war. That's a battle. And honestly, I wouldn't want to come in the house every day and have to battle with someone that's supposed to be loving on me and I'm supposed to be loving on them. So, and the problem with my marriage was the fact that every time I went to a higher elevation, I was not celebrated. In fact, I was told that I was being holier than thou. I was told that I think I'm better now that I'm, growing in God, and that was not the case at all. I just chose to do something different because I wanted different results. And I had noticed that the same thing I had been doing since I was in high school, even a little bit before that, it was not working. I was using my hurt to get through life, and that was not the way to get through life. So I had to change some things. And when I changed some things, I put God in the forefront of my life, and I began to work on that relationship with God. I told God I wanted to date him. I told God I want to be all up in his face. I told God I want to be his daughter. I told God I don't want to leave his presence. I told God to guide me and lead me, because I had been going astray for so long. Even though I had knew God my whole life, I had went astray. And instead of me looking for God for the answers, I went to relationship after relationship because I was a serial monogamist. A serial monogamist is just somebody who gets out of one relationship, take a couple of weeks off, and then somebody else wants to be in a relationship with them, and they work on the next relationship, and not even healing or taking time to fully heal the inner wounds that was given from the previous relationship. Thus, I would bring all that drama, all that pain, hoping that somebody would heal me and love me to life. That wasn't their job. And I apologize to everyone that I've dated that I made that making me happy their job. Because in all honesty, your happiness is your job. Your joy comes from God. And if you're not communing with God, if you don't have a relationship with God, if you ain't talking to God on a daily, where your joy coming from? Why? That's why you're so depressed. That's why your relationship is going to the can. That's why your marriage is failing. That's why you're not really, seeking your purpose, because you are lost in alignment. Lost as far as what line you should be in. Lost as far as, God, how do I get aligned with you? But instead of you asking him, you go off and you do it on your own. Hence, we get into relationships that are abusive. We get into relationships that don't meet our needs. We get into relationships that are not emotionally fulfilling. And we think that this is love. And it's really not. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not puffed up. Love gives, and love doesn't take away. Love is supportive. Love is encouraging. Love is God. So if you're with someone and they don't know God, they can never love you. I'm sorry, we can argue about it. If you want to go in the comments and we can go back and forth toe to toe, if you want to do that, we can do that. But if that person doesn't know God for themselves, they can never love you, because agape love is godly love. And that's the love that he gives to us, to let us know that he loves us so much that he will do anything for us. He will go to war for us. So if we don't have that love from God, or don't feel that love from God, how can we give love to someone else? And a lot of times, a lot of women and a lot of men, we tend to want to get in a relationship and say, oh, I got a lot of love to give. But what kind of love are you giving? Because if this is not the love that's supposed to be given in a relationship, then you actually have this all wrong. But nobody wants to say that, because everybody wants to think they got love correct, when the person that actually showed you what love was didn't even know what love was. Or the person that showed you what love was actually learning what love was when they were teaching you, and it actually has changed since they taught you. When you love unconditionally. You love despite what people do. You love despite the mistakes that they make. You love in spite of. And that's very hard to do, especially when somebody has hurt you. But I had to come to the point to realize it's not the person that hurt you, it's the spirit within that person that hurt you. And the goal of that spirit that hurt you was to bring you down to the point where you are shifted off your alignment. You are shifted off your path. But don't let hurt shift you. Let hurt build you. Yeah, that hurt. Oh man, it hurt real bad. But what did I learn? What is my takeaway? When I go to the next relationship, what can I bring that's positive, that is a lesson learned, that I will not bring this to the next relationship? As far as women, I mean, we talk about submission all the time. But how can you be submissive when you have to play the male role in a relationship? Men, how can a woman be submissive to you if you're not being the man of the household? If she's the man in the household, how can she submit? How can she get into her feminine energy? How can she be the woman or the soft woman that you really want? She can't. She has to be strong. She has to go out there and put on trousers just like you and get it done. That's why it's so important that the males step up. It's so important that you recognize who God is giving you. Recognize when God has given you a Proverbs 31 woman and be able to fulfill that position as an Abraham or as an Adam or Boaz. But if you're not stepping into your calling, how can you expect the woman to step into hers? Because we come from y'all rib. Women are made from men because God made it that way. He took a rib from Adam and he made woe man. There's a reason why we have man in our name. The woe is because we have a womb that men don't have. Womb man. Woman. So we have to be able to step into our energy as long as you guys can step into yours. And we have had our guys being murdered, our guys being jailed. We've had our guys being on drugs. We've lost a lot of men to this world. And no matter what race you are, we've lost men to this world. We've lost men to Jezebels. We've lost men to women who seek to destroy them and bring them down to nothing, demasculate them till they don't even believe in themselves anymore. And then those are the pickings that we have to pick from. And everybody thinks that you have to heal somebody. You can't heal anybody. All you can do is put them before the throne of grace. All you can do is put them before the throne of God and say, God, I need you to come and be an intercessor for this person so that healing can take place. But you yourself can't do the healing. You are not God. All we can do is be an agent to lead them to what the healing is. All right, guys, I've said enough. I've done enough. I've went over my time. But when it comes to relationships and when it comes to love, God is first. If they don't know God, they can't give you love. And if they don't know God, why would you want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't know God to be able to give you the love that you actually need? God knows the heart of man. God knows what you desire as well from your spouse or your partner. And women, same thing. We can't go around demasculating men, asking them to do women things. And I know everybody always say, well, what's women things? Women things is for them to stay at home while we go out and work, and they stay at home and watch the kids and they cook. No, that's backwards. Yelling at the man. No, regardless of how angry we are, yelling at a man is not ordained by God. We are to respect and honor our husbands, our spouses, our significant others. And if you're not married yet and you're boyfriend and girlfriend, how do you think it looks with you disrespecting him before the marriage? So I challenge you, taper your tongue, because the Bible says someone with sharp words will cause wrath, but a soft-spoken word will turn down anger. I paraphrase that so bad, but that's basically what it says, and I believe it's in Proverbs. But Proverbs actually teaches you a lot in the Bible as far as knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And if you have not read Proverbs, I suggest that you go read it because it will get you straight like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, when it comes to relationships, open your eyes. Look and see people for the spirit that they have and not the person on the outside. Look and see if they have any mental issues or if they have some healing that needs to take place, because your mission may not be for you to date them or like them or have sex with them or none of that. Your mission might just be to lead them to God so that they can heal. Because it's a lot of broken people out here, and all they're doing is looking for a relationship to make them feel better or not feel broken. And the fact is, you will be more exposed in a relationship because that person is going to expose the things that you need to work on. And if you are not healed, you are not going to take account to what they're saying. You're just not. You're going to actually think that they're coming down on you. You're going to actually think they're talking about you and mistreating you when in fact they're really trying to help you, but you're just not open enough to receive that. So healing comes from God. Healing comes from above. And when you are healed from the inside out, it will begin to show on the outside. All right, guys. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe for your girl. I'm going to be here every week doing these. So, I mean, it's just off the dome, whatever I think. And I just want to I got on the shirt today to just want to tell y'all, things will work out. Things will work out. Things will work out. 3 times for Jesus' sake. So if you're like in a marriage and you are and it's not going great, I urge you to pray to God about that. Pray to God what your next move should be. Pray to God to strengthen your marriage. Pray to God that you guys come together in unity and in strength. Pray to God that God brings you guys together where you guys have a 3-strand cord, where it's you, your spouse, and God. That's it. 3-strand cord. If you are in a relationship and you're wanting to be married and the other person does not want to, go take that next step, begin to pray to God for him to show you where the shift needs to happen. Because if there's a desire for you to marry this person and they don't have the same desire as you, there might be some things that is a disconnect. Or if you feel like maybe you said yes to somebody that you were going to get engaged, that you got engaged to, and now you're seeing their true colors and that they're not godly, and you don't want to go down that path of ungodliness, I urge you to ask God and pray about that thing, because getting married to somebody is a huge step. It's pretty much going to be the catalyst for what your life looks like. And that's important, especially with everybody having a purpose for their life. You don't need to be with somebody that's going to halt yours. My single people, things will work out. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to build yourself. Continue to look to God, who is your strength. And when you're in your singlehood, being with God is the most important. When you're in your singlehood, being with God is the most important, because he's allowing you to heal. He's transforming you from the inside out. He's transforming you to be built for that person that you really, really want, but you're not ready for it because you are yet not healed all the way. You have some understandings that you have to get through. You have some flip mouth that you need to check. But you can do that because in the presence of God, he heals you. He delivers you. He rescues you. He shows you a brand new insight. He gives you insight that you didn't even have before. Godly insight and godly wisdom that'll be able to carry you through this singlehood. You will no longer be laying on your back for just a random dude because you went to the club and had a good time. You will no longer be picking a girl out of the crowd because she has a big butt. You will be seeking the soul of a person. You will be seeking the spirit of a person. And from that, when you see that the person's spirit is good, when you see that a person's spirit has no ulterior motives or mischief or malicious intent, then you are to ask God, is this the person I'm supposed to go forward with? Because even though they have a good heart and a good spirit, they still might not be your partner in purpose. They still might not be who you are to be linked with in this lifetime. So I challenge you, I urge you, pray, ask God for what to do next. Ask him for every one of your steps and wait on the answer. All right, guys, this is Shanti with Transparency. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.